In this video, I'll show you how to create a PDF document that uses an interactive table of contents. That is, you can click on items in the table of contents and it will take you directly to that part of the PDF file. So this is easily doable in Microsoft Word. You actually don't really have to use Acrobat at all. And I've done that here in Word, and all I've done is saved this as an Adobe PDF. Okay, but let me walk you through the steps of creating something like this. So if I start with a fresh Word document, I can start by creating the table of contents, or I can create it after the fact. In this case, I'll just start by creating it. So I'm going to go to References, Table of Contents, and you get two different versions here. I'm going to choose this one right here, and it's going to tell me start by applying a heading style from Styles Gallery to the selected text in order to create items in this table of contents. Well, now we have to create content in our document. So I'm going to start by saying Introduction, and I'll drop some text in, and I'll say Chapter 1, drop some text in, and say Chapter 2, drop some text in, and so on. Okay, so now let's create the table of contents. I will highlight this text, and then I will go back to the Home tab. Now, if you've never used these styles up here, this is a great place to start using them. So I'm just going to call this Heading 1, and it's going to change the style, and it's going to declare it as the Heading 1 style as opposed to just the normal style of paragraph text. Okay, so once I've done that, let's come back up to the table of contents. I'll click on it, and I'm going to say Update Table, and you're going to see it's added introduction. If I choose Heading 1 for every single item, and I've got to update the table of contents, and here update the page numbers only. No, I want to actually update the entire table because I want to add the Chapter 1 link. They're going to be on the same level, whereas if I choose Heading Style 2, and then I update the table of contents, it's going to indent it slightly. Okay, that's useful, but at the same token, know that that's how that's going to behave. So you want to choose the style that leads to the level of indentation or no indentation that you're seeking in your table of contents. Incidentally, you do not have to live with these peculiar styles. So the blue is not a bad look, but if we want to change this, we can simply right-click on the style in the Style selector and choose Modify. And if we do that, we can very simply change the color. I'll go to black via the automatic option. And I can also do things like I can change the font. So I'll say change it to Arial Bold. And I'll click OK. And it's going to update that style. You'll also notice that when you, so for example, when I created this as Heading 2, it opened up a Heading 3 because Word is anticipating that you may want still another outline indentation below Heading 2. And so, for example, if I highlight this and choose Heading 3, Word is going to open up a Heading 4. And if I update this, you will see that Heading 3 now, whoops, I meant to say update entire table. Heading 3 now indents Chapter 3 further. For a very simple document where pretty much every chapter or whatever your heading should be at the same level, you could just choose Heading 1 and leave go at that, and then modify the style for Heading 1 as you need it. If you want further indents, of course, you can do that using these other headings. When I'm done, I'll say File, Save as Adobe PDF, and say yes to save it as a docx file, which is always a good idea. Never save anything as a complete file to PDF before you've saved it as a Word document. That way you can always go back and easily change the PDF by creating a new one if you need to. So I'll click Save, and then I can save it as a PDF. I click Save, and after a slight conversion process, here we are.